In our news tonight, local government elections. Wife of Akwa Ibom governor urges PDP female candidate to embrace excellence. Akwa Ibom House of Assembly, UZAID, Nigeria, state-to-state Ryan Earth quarterly budget performance review. State government inaugurates 2025 capital estimates bilateral discussions committee. Plus, Buhari, Jonathan in, OBJ absent as Tinubu holds first Council of State meeting. We have details of these and other stories in a moment. Good to have you join us. I am Juliet Richard. And I begin by telling you that as the local government elections in Akwa Ibom State draw near, the wife of the state's governor, Pastor Patience Umoina, has hosted female stakeholders and candidates of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), where she charged them on loyalty to party, competence, and on upholding good conduct. The meeting, held at Government House Banquet Hall, was attended by female candidates running for chairmanship, vice and councillorship positions in the October 2024 local government elections. Margaret Bassey reports.
The First Lady encouraged the 5 chairmanship candidates, 26 vice chairmanship candidates, and 129 councillorship candidates to embrace excellence by exhibiting good conduct both in physical appearance and utterances, while ensuring that their diligence, loyalty, and commitment to the ideals of the PDP are not in doubt. The governor's wife congratulated the aspirants for being found worthy, as she also thanked Governor Moino for being gender-friendly and prioritizing women inclusion since he assumed office.
I want to advise that you become our good ambassadors by eschewing pride and arrogance in the process leading to the elections. You will need the support of every single person to ensure that you succeed at the polls. Also, I expect you to exhibit great decorum in your physical appearance, utterances, and general conduct.
Setting the tone for the meeting, the coordinator of the Patience Umoino Women Stakeholders, Princess Felicia Bassey, said the gathering was to express a deep sense of appreciation to Governor Moino and wife Patience for driving the message of gender inclusion through the allocation of a large chunk of seats to women contesting in the forthcoming local government elections. Princess Bassey charged the female candidates to be of good behavior and relate their 100% support to Moino-led administration, stating that their actions and performances will open more doors of opportunities for the female folk.
Count yourself lucky. Yes. That's why I'm begging you. Because your action will open doors for more appointments. Mommy, thank you for this invitation.
The member representing Ikorobasi Eastern Obolo State constituency, Mrs. Selena Okpatu, wife of the party chairman, Mrs. Unyeme Akpan, and others remarked that Akwa Ibom State has never had such a huge number of women vying for positions at the local government level, urging the candidates to work as a team, mobilize support for PDP, and defend the cause and confidence reposed on them.
I've seen some of them there who were fighting, struggling to make this government to stand today, and today God has rewarded them.
On behalf of the coordinators, we want to assure you 100% that these women, they will go into the society and bring more women that will be loyal to you.
In Jesus' name.
Some candidates in their responses thanked the governor in Wai for keeping to their words and allowing more women participate in governance.
I will bring out the results. Let the results speak for me. After the results, no women. I said, no women. Mommy, I'm working very hard.
When the day you visit my local government, there will be no other party. So only the party.
As women that has been pushed to power, it is a privilege. I call her a role model.
Margaret Bassi, Akbc News.
Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, in partnership with USAID Nigeria State 2 States, has ended its quarterly budget performance review with select ministries, departments and agencies. The workshop, held at 4 Points by Sheraton Hotels, Ikadekbene, aimed at strengthening the capacity of the State House of Assembly to manage budget performance review, tracking, and had the Speaker of the House, Elder Odemotong, as keynote presenter. Uford Udoka reports.
The Speaker of the State Assembly, Elder Odemotong, in a keynote address at the event, said the engagement was to help participants identify and discuss key challenges for the purposes of making recommendations for the successful implementation of sectoral budget of the priority sectors in the next half of the year. He said the 8th Assembly's resolve to ensure absolute compliance with the 2024 budget is evident in various visits to the ongoing project sites and constant engagement with ministries, departments and agencies to ensure effective discharge of their statutory functions as stipulated in the 2024 budget, while discharging its oversight functions of monitoring and ensuring compliance. Elder Otong said the 8th Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has established and maintained a robust relationship with the executive, adding that the USAID State to State has been a background inspiration which has encouraged the State Assembly to do exactly what they ought to do.
We have also championed accountability, as could be seen during the recent visit by the Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Let me particularly mention the oversight effort involving the Chief Whip, Right Honorable Sir Edward Johnson, Chairman House Committee on Industries, Commerce and Industry, who is a member of his committee on the inspection of Ibom hotels and golf resorts.
The Chairman House Committee on Education, Mrs. Kenem Onofiok, in stating the outcomes in oversight in the education sector in 2024 budget, highlighted some of the challenges to include inadequate teachers in some primary and secondary schools, lack of library and laboratories, inadequate lecturers in state tertiary institutions, and underfunding of some education committees. Other House Committee chairmen that gave highlights of oversight in their sectors included that of Health, Mr. Moses Essien, member for Ibom State Constituency, Nana Sukrodo, member for Ikono State Constituency, and Mr. Udoarekpo, member for Itinan State Constituency. The State to State team lead, Mr. Belvo Pago Imabel, in a welcome remark, said the quarterly engagement was aimed at reviewing the performance of Quarter 1 and 2 from January to June 2024. Mr. Pago Imabel, who recalled the engagement held with members of the State Assembly in 2023, said it has paved the way for further engagement.
An interface reviewed several areas that needed the attention of the House, as well as follow-up, which the House had treated effectively. And we are gathered again to review those actions, as well as chart a course to recommend further what we have to do to improve the situation. It is our earnest expectation that most of what we do will culminate in increased budget releases, which will equally translate to improved service delivery.
The Director General Fiscal Responsibility Board in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Victor De, spoke on fiscal strategy paper and budget policy statement to guide in the 2024 budget.
So, That presentation was made so that we can inform us in making fiscal forecast that will shape 2025 budget. We know how to be utilizing.
The quarterly engagement recommended effective monitoring and securing of schools in rural areas, private sector participation in WASH projects, and the need to determine specific project outlined in the 2024 budget for implementation, among others. Fotodokan, Akbc News.
The Akwa State government has inaugurated the 2025 Capital Estimate Bilateral Discussion Committee. The committee is tasked with preparation, evaluation and coordinating the 2025 capital budget proposals submitted by various ministries, departments and agencies. The committee's inauguration marks a significant step in the preparation of the state's 2025 capital budget aimed at ensuring that resources are allocated effectively and in line with the state's priority projects and programs. Uyukuswa completes the story.
During the inauguration of the committee, the Commissioner for Economic Development and Chairman of the committee, Mr. Membob, highlighted the importance of aligning the bilateral discussions with the Arise agenda, which he described as the central development plan for the state. The Commissioner stressed that emphasis will be on completion of all ongoing projects and programs, while priority projects and programs as identified by the Governor will receive utmost consideration.
Today marks a very significant and important day in the year 2024. We all know that there's no way budget estimates can be realized without looking into the macroeconomics indices. And we will always be meeting from time to time to plan for the success of the administration of Pastor Mo Basi Eno.
Mr. Bob called for a realistic approach to budgeting, urging MDAs to adhere to the ceiling specified in the budget circular. He stressed that the bilateral discussions and budget analysis should be completed on time in accordance with the state budget calendar. The committee's membership includes the Commissioner for Finance, Dr. Linus Nkan, Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Inia Diakban, Chairman of the Internal Revenue Service, Mr. Kunukun, State Accountant General, Pastor Uwem Andresien, and the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Economic Development, Mr. Christopher Udo, while the State Director of Economic Planning, Mr. Tobong Sambo, serves as the committee secretary. Other members of the committee include the State Director of Statistics, Mr. Peter Akman, Director International Cooperation, Dr. Udrak Ekong, Director Monitoring and Evaluation, Mrs. Mercy Ibup. Shortly after the inauguration of the committee, the Ministry of Transport and Civil Service Commission presented their budget proposals to the committee. Their presentations signal the commencement of bilateral discussions that will shape the state's capital projects for 2025. This process helps ensure the final budget reflects the priorities of the government while also considering the needs and proposals of MDAs. Uyeuku Uswa, Akbc News.
Tinubu approves 300% pay rise for judicial officers, inaugurates compressed natural gas buses in Abuja. We have details of this and more shortly. Stay with us.
This is our home, where we all belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's on him and you know, we go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we day, it's on him and you know. No matter where we
Welcome back. Christian funeral rites have been held for Elder Fabian David Effiong of Idu, Uran local government area at the St. Andrew's Parish of the African Church, Idu. The service in honor of the late octogenarian, according to the officiating minister, the Most Reverend Augustine Ikat, was an avenue of providing comfort to families, friends and relatives of the deceased for their loss. Esther Morin completes the report.
Reverend A.P. Ikat, who preached on the topic, a dwelling place, noted that though mortals are short-lived, it is possible for them to make wise use of the little time they have to live to please God in order to gain everlasting life. He urged Christians to amend their ways and return to God before it is too late.
But I want to say that there is a place and there are two places. And I want somebody to make a choice. Where are you going after today?
In their tributes, representatives of the family and church said kind words about the life and times of the deceased.
Daddy did not take us as neighbors. He took us as an extension of his children, an extension of his sons, and extensions of his daughters.
I know a man of discipline. On his side, I get alone. I'm going to be in the
In a biography jointly read by the children, the late Elder Fabian David Effiong was described as a devout Christian who lived an exemplary life resulting from the upbringing of his God-fearing parents. He was further described as being sociable and approachable to all who came his way.
We in one way or the other made this sacrifice to ensure that exactly the dreams came true. His beloved wife who was a classroom teacher, head teacher, and a sectional entrepreneur, engaged our children back in different types of small businesses to generate extra income to support the family.
We are also grateful to the parish place and the entire parishioners of St. Joseph Catholic Church, Iduruan, Council of Chiefs, our relatives, friends, and well-wishers for your prayers, consolidation.
The event featured songs by some choral groups, send-off rites by men and women's fellowship of the church, as well as thanksgiving by the bereaved family. Some family members also spoke on the life of the deceased.
Very strict man, no nonsense man.
Esther Morin, Akbc News.
And to the national scene, President Bola Tinubu has signed a bill for an act to prescribe the salaries, allowances and fringe benefits of judicial office holders in Nigeria into law. This was disclosed in a statement today by the Special Assistant to the President on Senate Matters, Senator Bashiri Ladu. recalled that the National Assembly had passed an executive bill transmitted to it by President Tinubu to increase the salaries of judicial officers by 300% in June this year. In the statement, Senator Lado described the signing of the bill by the president as a landmark achievement and a manifestation of his unwavering commitment to the welfare of the Nigerian workforce. Former President Muhammadu Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan today graced Council of State meeting in Abuja. Former heads of state Yakubu Gowon and Abdulsalami Abubakar also joined virtually. The meeting of the Council of State is always held to advise the President on policy decisions and other matters that the sitting President might put before them. The meeting, the first to be held by the Tinubu government, comes on the heels of the nationwide protests against prevailing hardship and economic policies of the present administration. Ex-President Obasanjo, who said the demands of the protesters were legitimate, stayed away from the meeting. President Bola Tinubu today inaugurated the first set of compressed natural gases buses at the Presidential Villa Abuja. The buses, numbering 20, were said to be first batch produced locally by Innocent Motors. The provision of the buses were part of the federal government's efforts to reduce the pains caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. That's all we have for you tonight, but before we go, a quick look at the major stories. The wife of the state governor, Pastor Patience Umoino, has hosted female stakeholders and candidates of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) at the government's house Uyo and taxed them on loyalty to party, competence, and on upholding good conduct. The meeting was attended by female candidates running for chairmanship, vice, and councillorship positions in the October 2024 local government elections. We also brought you reports that Akwa Ibom State Government has inaugurated the 2025 Capital Estimates Bilateral Discussion Committee. The committee is tasked with preparation, evaluation, and coordinating the 2025 capital budget proposals submitted by various departments and ministries as well as agencies. That's all we have for you tonight. We really appreciate your company. I am Juliet Richard. Do have a pleasant night's rest.